Okay, I'm gonna go draw discard Oculus, turn to reanimate Oculus. I don't think you should do that very often, but I'm gonna keep this hand, planning to do exactly that because my hand is pretty weak in general. But turn to Oculus is quite good in a lot of matchups. If my opponent does something, or I draw Faithless Looting, like all my stuff can change, but that's my plan right now. We might be able to just cast Oculus pretty quickly here, especially if they play something for Spell Snare. I'm going to not do the thing I said. I don't know if they have Ren and 6 or something. I don't know what they're playing necessarily, so I think having the Spell Snare up here is important. Especially because I drew Consider, so I have Consider if I really want to. Raucous Theater, probably Creativity would be my guess. And having the Spell Snare for Ren or Bitter Reunion is nice. Cookbook, okay. Spell Snare might do nothing, and we might be in trouble. Cycle Street Wraith, fine. Can't stop it. Unearth into Asmo is a really cool thing, though. And I think Faithless Looting, Unearth, Asmo, Mox Cookbook can be a thing. They discard Ox of Agonis and Blazing Root Walla. I think my Spell Snares might be weak. And I think Spell Snare may have just gotten a lot weaker with the Unbans because there's just like not as many 2-drops running around. Let's get Steam Vents, and we'll just consider looking for Faithless Looting. Counterspell. They have the option to just Saga me next turn, so I think I need to just be more aggressive. We already have the Black Source, so let's just go for looting, looking for what you call it. I was looking for Force Negation, but this is a pretty good start here. We'll just say go. And we didn't find Force, but we have the ability to play another Oculus next turn. And then we can use the Manifest tokens to trade or block the Sagas just to buy time. Mistaken 69 with a rating party of 12. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Hope you had a good stream. Today we're going to be playing some Modern. Right now we're playing against Vengevine, and we're playing with Oculus. And I think that Oculus beats Vengevine by nature. Shoot the Sheriff looks really good over Go for the Throat when you're fighting off against Urza Sagas. All right, I'm just going to attack and then play another Oculus from hand since we were able to fill the graveyard. And unless they can kill me next turn, which I don't know. I mean, they might be able to, but it's going to be hard for them to kill me next turn. All right, so 2 Oculus is triggering. Put a looting into the grave. Push into the grave. All right, so now they can go get an artifact, which is probably going to be Cookbook. And then they can maybe go like Cookbook plus Asmo, and then use that to blow up Oculus. I can kill the Asmo with Shoot the Sheriff, but they'll still get some help. They got Shadow Spear. So Ruwal allows them to get back Vengevine, and then they can use the mana to equip Shadow Spear and gain 5. I will not block, I don't think. Asmo is pretty sweet. Chat, can I get a thumbs up in chat if you enjoyed the music? I've been considering having the music be muted during the stream so that I can listen to it, but the chat doesn't have to. So if you find the music jarring, I would love to know. AWAR might. Not really afraid of that one. Now they can still equip. I think this is going to allow them to survive, but not by a lot. Definitely can just take it. And now I just have Spell Snare, Shoot the Sheriff, Consider. I really want to draw Counterspell, but I don't really need to draw anything. I'm very ahead. Frog. Frog doesn't do anything with current board, so let's just swing with everybody. Force some blocks. They'll take 12 down to 4. Could have killed one, but it still was not getting in for lethal. And now we can just wait until this comes in. And we don't even have to kill this. We can just let this happen. I'm going to play Tamio and hold up Shoot the Sheriff. We can also just use the Oculuses to block if we need to protect our life total. The tokens. Third favorite child says, huge thumbs up, stolen so much music from you over the years. I appreciate that. And that's why I mean, I like the music I listen to and I play it to share, obviously, but you know, I know that a lot of people, or at least when I watch streams, I know that like I don't always love it when someone's got music playing if I don't like their music. Okay, so we have a frog going underneath, that's fine. This is a control deck, chat. I'm the control deck here. Turn 2 Oculus, huh? Faithless Looting Unearth Oculus is very strong. So they're going for a 4th mana source very quickly. They're going for Ox of Agonis. They're not doing dredge stuff. So if they were doing dredge stuff here, I'd be way more scared of this Ox. I think I'll get to cut the spell snares. I've yet to see a 2-mana card. Vidge Vinny says, I'm getting my ass kicked right now. That's you? That's you, Vinny? Are you Magrick? I said discard 2 cards. Those 2 cards are Asmo and a land. Oh, Asmo, Blazing Root Wall, sure. Scooter, I'm going to bonk you. All right, so we'll go 3 Surgical, 2 Spell Bomb, 2 Subtlety. I don't think Meltdown is that good, but maybe it's better than I think. But we can definitely cut Spell Snare. And I think, honestly, Fatal Push is kind of weak. And so maybe we just have enough things to cut. You know, like we can just bring in some Meltdowns on some number as our way to stop their weird junk from happening. Something like this. So too much time watching Doom Mike? Yeah. Dude, there was a couple weeks there where he just said that every other sentence. That's rough, buddy. Opener looks quite good. We'll keep it and use this to strip the Vengevines whenever they go for it. We have Subtlety for an early Asmo. And we also have Force backup. So I like a lot of stuff going on in this hand. I would likely force an early Faithless Looting to just like slow them down. But I don't know if I want to pitch the Subtlety or the Oculus, and it'll probably be the Subtlety and hold Oculus, be my guess. I wish that one or two of these were fetches. Play Line of the Void to start. That's fine. That means we'll pitch Oculus now and just win with Frog. But it's playing slowly. Hello, opponent. Thank you. Very little reason for me to play an untapped land here, so I'll just play Steven's tapped. And the next time we go Dark Slick into Psychic Frog. We get punished if we draw exactly our other two Dark Slick Shore style lands. Back to the music conversation, though, Dr. Hutch. I do appreciate your attitude. The idea of like putting on a show for people, it can be tough sometimes, and so like hearing the things that you do have consequences, but also it's not that bad. It's kind of nice. Nether Goyf. Yeah, just let it happen, huh? We can also just discard a bunch of cards and block with the frog. And also just take 3 damage. And this is why Leyline of the Void sucks against frog decks. I'll just make a frog and block. Hollow one cycle? Sure. Asthma. So I will subtlety pitch Oculus. This will put it back on top and make it hard for them to get it again. And if they don't have something to discard, they'll put it on the bottom. They bottomed it nice. And now if they attack with this, I think I'm just gonna discard 3 cards and eat it. Hold on to surgical maybe. All right, I'm gonna attack. If they want to block, I'll definitely send them. Water Grave for sure. Force. Probably another force. They don't have a land in the graveyard, so I don't need to hit the Nether Goyf yet with surgical, so I don't want to. I could, if they go for Burning Inquiry or something in response, I can do this. I'm gonna play a Consider here on the end step. Opposite Delta will Grave. Consider again. Grave the Unearth. And now this is the spot where I think a lot of people will not do what I do, which is shove on just a frog, because we want to constrict their turns. And we even could have discarded one more, but it doesn't change the clock. But one does change the clock. And now at any point, if they try to get Delirium, I can surgical the Nether Goyfs before. And so if like they go fetch land, put a Surveil on the stack, then I'll probably do it. All right, so we'll attack with both. I'm going to discard 1, just get them down to 4. That way, if they have an answer for this frog, eventually I'll be able to do something about it. With them only at 4 life. Maybe that's not worth. I think I'm going to Faithless Looting, just so I can flip this Tommy out and get it online. Hold on to surgical. We'll just start ticking it up. Cycling Street Wraith. Goes to 2. No reason to surgical yet. Nether Goyf. Okay. Now they can just chump. So that was a mistake, I guess, to not just kill him. Kill these Nether Goyfs, rather. I can't surgical it with it on the stack necessarily, so... Oh, that's a good draw. So let's smack. And... I'm going to play now Spell Bomb. Take this up to 6. Say go. Do I want to exile Graveyard right this moment? Do I want to hit Nether Goyf during their draw steps? I think I'm going to wait for their draw step. Surgical target Nether Goyf. They just have one fewer blocker. Would love to play first. Opener looks pretty dog shit. We'll mulligan. This hand. Well, it's got lands and spells, so I think we'll keep. Put back probably Fatal Push, since we don't have black mana yet. We could maybe put back Tamio, since our hand is doing the Faithless Unearth thing, but I think the Fatal Push is worse than the Tamio. Looking for land / Oculus. Graveyard this. So worst case scenario, we can like if we draw Black Source, we can go Unearth Tamio, looting, flip it with Force backup. Also on Bowmaster. I hate Bowmaster in general, but I like Consider as well. I think Bowmaster is like a really good card for when you're playing your like normal like control game plan, but it's quite bad in your like Reanimator package. Lava Spike. We don't need to counter this one yet, I don't think. Alright, we didn't deal ourselves any damage though with our opening land, so that's nice. Surgical main deck. Main deck Surgical. Well, I guess I'll just counter it? Is that a thing? Do I just let this happen? Maybe not. Main deck Surgical is in Lava Spike together. It's just so sicko. It's just so sicko. This is so sick. This is game 1, chat, and they're a Lava Spike deck. Alright, looting. Let's find a black source, please. Thank you. I don't have a black source that doesn't deal me damage here, unfortunately, so we'll go for Watergrave, Unearth. And hope they don't have a second Surgical in their hand, in their main deck. Pretty good. We're at 14, though. But the Oculus will close in 2 turns. We're going to put him down to 13. This is... this is, off-putting. And we still did it, which is funny. The the best part is that they had it and did not wait. You know? Opponent's using Onslaught lands. Are these foil? I think they're foil. It's hard to tell though. I have the foil animation turned off, so. Okay, opponent is playing very slowly. It's bothering me. Searing Blaze on my 2/2, sure. I'm at 11. Next turn, please. See if you can deal 11 before this Oculus gets you. We have protection from a creature at least with the Fatal Push. I kept it over the Tamio. I'm not sure if I should have. The Tamio here would not be very impactful though. Gonna play Ren's Resolve. Sure. Top 2, live the stage Rift Bolts. I don't think you can suspend from there. I don't know what my opponent's doing. Maybe they're playing Singleton. Alright, Swank for 7. They're dead next turn. We have removal. We don't have burn protection, but they didn't deal us any damage last turn, so I think we'll be okay. This feels like they're just playing Singleton, which is very strange. Found another Oculus just in case. Really curious what this deck evolves into. I've been paper, but I'm not satisfied yet. Yeah, I think Bowmaster is the card that stands out to me as the worst, and so I think cutting it for me makes a lot of sense. But overall, I think it's just a really powerful deck now with Faithless Looting. I think it's just a really powerful deck now with Faithless Looting. I don't know if I want Subtlety. I need like real discard. I think 2 Shoot the Sheriff can come out. They don't seem like they have that many creatures. So I like the Fatal Pushes because they're just very cheap and they'll likely kill everything. And we're just going to do Subtlety for some free interaction. But Surgical Meltdown and Oswald Bomb Consign. Not really for this matchup. I don't know, Vinny. People are just trying new shit. Whatever my opponent's doing, I don't know. But they have main deck Surgical Extraction, so who knows, man. It seems like they were building like a Lutri deck and forgot to put Lutri in the command zone. That's what I think. Alright, I'm going to keep this hand. I'm not super interested in shocking on turn 1, so I might Thundering Falls depending on what they do. Lava Spike, sure. I'm gonna go get Black Source tapped. I think I like that better than playing Thundering Falls. Unlocks Under Earth, lets me look for Oculus. Eidolon. That's really bad for me. Extremely bad for me. Alright, let's find oh, I grabbed the wrong one. Been misclicking a lot today. I'm a little rusty. Meant to get the Surveil land. Eidolon makes sense. We're still just looking now we're looking for a Fatal Push or we're looking for like something to cast like the Oculus just to deal damage. I'll leave the Shoot the Sheriffs in for game 3. I haven't played against Eidolon in a long time. I think Subtlety is actually a pretty good draw. A good answer to this. Doesn't deal me damage. Can't play next turn, but I can play the turn after. At this point, the Fawns are basically just protecting Tamiya. Searing Blaze. Oh my Jesus. Misplaced Ginger with a big ass raid. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Ginger fans. I am one of you. I'm sorry, Dinosaur. You got rated from DT to Ginger to me. Well, welcome. And I hope that you are having a wonderful day and continue to have a wonderful week and weekend. And a Merry Christmas. Skewer the critics on the Tamio. That's fine. I can unearth the Tamio to be a blocker. I'll go to 8. But I think that's fine. Right now I'm playing against the weirdest burn deck I've ever seen. I'm going to play Unearth on Tamio just to have a blocker for the Eidolon for now. Subtlety we knew about. I'm going to play Tap Steam Vents. And now we have to reconsider how we sideboard if we lose this game. If my Tamio dies here, I'll be very reliant on Subtlety not only to kill the Eidolon, but to maybe win me the game. Claim the Firstborn. I really think my opponent is basically just playing I don't know. They're playing singletons, I think. They forgot to attack. If they Faithless looting, they can flip Tamio, but it comes back to my side, which is funny. Another Eidolon, that's pretty bad. But we, at the very least, we have a way to eat one and to block next turn. Our Band Ring is currently inactive. Not Singleton anymore, yeah. They got 2 Eidolons. This is the first double up of a card I've seen. Hope they didn't draw something that cost or deals 3 to the subtlety, 4 blocks. So they're gonna bolt the Tamio. We're gonna go to 8. Alright, we're gonna go to 7, block go to 5, but we're not taking damage from casting the subtlety, which is nice. I think this is better than using Fawn. Fawn is just so much damage. So there's going to be 4 cards, 5 cards. They're still 2 away from this. And I might be able to actually attack them. I'll go to 5. I can put them to 5. They put me to 3. I put them to 2. And then that's it. They're dead to their own Eidolon. So if they draw Brick next turn, I win. And I don't think I can wait, though, because my counterspells deal me damage. But I think I do just have to try to close this way. And if they draw a fetch land, they can maybe Barbarian Ring me out. And if they draw... I don't know. We'll see. I have a way to protect here, but it's not enough to make me win the race. Not yet, anyway. Force Negation at least puts something into the exile zone, which might matter. But if it's a spell that costs 1 or 2 and it doesn't kill me, then they lose. Like if they go to 3 and I counter it, I go to 1 and they die. So I do feel quite confident in my position here. Often Eidolon the Great Revel becomes a big downside. So this should definitely attack. There's no reason for it not to. But after it attacks, I think I have them locked. Okay. They did miss some damage earlier, though. So this should have been a game lost for sure. But their deck is very weird, and I've played how I thought I should play, at least. Paid actor. I'm going to message him and give him the 5 tickets that I owe him. Maybe they'll play something that can't be countered. Alright, so this should be putting me to 1 if they had attacked last turn. But if they don't have anything that they can cast, they're dead, right? Has to cost more than 4 or more than 3. I'm going to mulligan this hand. No black and looks a little awkward. We'll keep this one. I don't think we'll need second Faithless looting. So we'll start with consider probably looking for Oculus. Young Wolf. Thundering Falls here looks awkward. We'll hold up Spell Snare. If they don't have anything to Spell Snare, then we'll consider. Spell Snare was a good draw, I think. And I don't think Frog's going to get through very well here, so I'm fine just not doing anything. And if they... Weird. I don't really want or need the removal spell at the moment. I want to find Oculus for Unearth. I'm going to counter this Bowmaster if they have it. Now they're probably going to cord for 1. So maybe I should consider now. If they play a Bowmaster now, I think I'm fine with it. So Tamio Grave, we can go Unearth Tamio plus Faithless Looting and to resolve it. All right, I didn't find what I wanted, so I think I'm gonna go for. If I go unearth, looting, flip, what are the odds that I win the game? This turn I can't counter the cord for one. The Tomio does shrink everything though. Let's go for it. Tomio can also get back unearth if I find something like another Oculus or whatever. But Bowmaster here just completely ruins me. Maybe I don't want this frog anymore. It's all counter spells all the time. I could have played this game way differently, right? I could have considered earlier. I could have not played around Bowmaster. I could have not gone in on Tomio. And now they just cord for one for another Young Wolf, and then they untap and play Yawgmoth. But unfortunately, I can't force a negation the cord because it's my end step. I hope it's just Grist. Prosperous, sure. Nothing can get through the Tomio right this moment, which is really nice. And if I get to untap, I have a wall of counter magic, so I'm really ecstatic about how this is going, honestly. And we'll just say go, and I'm just like never even going to cast this Consider. I wonder if I should be playing another land. I feel like I'm a little light on lands in this build. 20, if you count the Stupors. I was gonna say if they go Cavern, I'm in trouble. They didn't cord last turn. They play Semiground untapped. Didn't cord this turn. Next turn we'll draw half our deck, I guess. So we have to play Counterspell here. And now if they go for it on their turn, we have Force. But we can't stop Yawgmoth. We can stop any of the non-Yawgmoth things with Force. Conceding there, interesting. I like Subtlety. I do like Spell Snare. They do have some stuff I can hit. I think I'm off sinking into Stupor. 18 lands is 18 lands. But I'm on the draw. We have a bunch of pitch stuff. I can move hard in on Frog when I need to. Yeah, you like that one, Blink Moth? You like the big old beast token? I will keep. If they have mana dorks, we can punish them. If they don't play anything on one, or if they play Young Wolf on one, we got Tomio. Alright, let's play Tomio. Wall Roots makes sense. Birds of Paradise also makes sense. Alright, so we'll attack just to get our thing. And I'm going to, I believe I'm going to Fatal Push this. Let's just use our mana efficiently. Since we don't have anything else to do with the mana this turn, we'll go for Shoot the Sheriff. Veil Summer. Was not expecting that one. Completely busted. Actual Disintegrated. So they can sack most of their creatures to kill Tomio and draw a bunch of cards. Another wolf. Now they can bounce back and forth until they go low on life. I'm just going to concede. I don't think I can win this game. I'm not really in a spot to win even if I come back. Is there any universe where I want Surgical to stop Young Wolf coming back? Not really. If I'm on the play, I think I have a better shot that game. The Veil was gross, though. I think I'm going to mulligan. Just want 2 lands. Just want 2 lands in my life. I'm gonna go to 5. All right, best hand we've had by a lot. We'll keep 2 lands. And just all the threats, I guess. We'll go Tamio. And then next turn we can just looting, looking for Oculus. And flip the Tamio. Seems really nice. Goose. The goose is loose. No blocks? Wow. Wow, no blocks. Good draw. I'm going to keep the Force Negation, I think. And we'll just go for the Tamiya Ultimate for the win. Or maybe not the win, but to put us far enough ahead. I'm going to kill the Goose. I could wait and kill like the Wall Roots or another Mana Dork. Okay, they just didn't even have anything. That's so sick. Okay, so we'll plus. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pop Clue in case I draw a land I want to play. Because we have, you know, pitch answers here. And it's a pitch answer no matter what we do. Fetch land here allows us to get Surveil, which is nice. 1 lander with a Goose. I don't know if their hand's just like all Wall of Roots or what. We'll go for Sewer. I don't love the land there, so I'm going to bin it. Send this to 8. And I feel like it'll be very difficult to lose. We have Force and Subtlety back up here. And then once this draws half the deck, can't lose, I think. All right, they just had a I'm lagging pretty bad. We're gonna keep this hand because we're on the play, and hopefully we hit something sick off Surveil. If the Goose had lived, I bet your hand was just all sicko 2-drops. GG's though. I got my ass kicked in game 2. You said it was a brew, and then you just like played Young Wolf, and I was like, oh no. If this gets Island, we have to assume that they have Harbinger. It gets Forest. Ringleaf Drum. So maybe they have Wastes. That's why they're playing Vista. Unsure. Let's see. We want to get Thundering Falls, so we have access to both colors. Don't need another land. No reason to go for it yet. We can wait on the looting for a turn or 2. We don't need to get really lucky and find the Oculus this turn. And I think once you realize that, you just hold a counterspell, you become a lot stronger playing the deck. Saga. That one's going to be annoying later, but maybe we can keep them from making too many of the tokens by stopping their creatures that they cast to try to use the Springleaf Drum. Blade of the Blood Chief. Okay, so I think here I want to use Force Negation on it. Because I know that they're just going to go... I guess they have the Saga to get another copy, right? So maybe I don't. Maybe we don't. I wonder if there's any universe where I cycle Sink into Stupor. I think the answer is no. Or cycle Unearth, rather. Opponent has a really cool avatar. Plays Stupor as a tap land, I think. Continue holding open the counter spells while we can. Next turn, we can start with Faithless Looting, look for Oculus or something to reanimate. If all they go for is Saga tokens... Oh, I want to counter this really badly. I'm going to force pitch a counterspell to counter the Mox Opal so that I can hold up counterspell for Brood Scale. And I'm going to counter this as well because I think they just don't have a land. I think I just want to cut them off of Saga. If it doesn't work, that's fine. I just had a feeling it might. Well, brute scale next turn if they have they need. Oh, they can equip it now. And then next turn. So we have to find something off of looting. Or else we get infinite next turn. Alright, so it's looting, looking for removal spell. We found Sink into Stupor. Okay, so is there any reason for me to not wait? Whenever a creature dies? I think I just wait and try to time walk them. This does give them the ability to Saga make a token here, but I think if they don't, they just float a mana. They go get any of their 1 or 0 mana creatures. They use Springleaf Drum to replay the Brute Scale, and I think we're just in the same position. And so I'm going to kind of hope that they walk into the bounce effect here. Man, I mean, obviously in hindsight, I should not have countered either Mox Opal, but I think I might have lost to the Sagas and the tokens from them if I had not. Okay, so we let this adapt counter resolve, and then with the trigger on the stack to make a token, we bounce, and now they cannot readapt, but they can go again. They can recast it again here, but we have to wait till the counter's already on it before we bounce. Otherwise, they can just adapt in response and then make infinite. And then I guess it's just infinite mana, but that's still a lot. Actually, I think they can still do it. I think I just stopped infinite damage from coming, and that didn't matter. So I guess I should have bounced it. They could have. Oh, I thought they could have sack equip, but I guess not. All right, I'm just gonna concede. Pretty weak in there. Oh, I guess I got a Faithless looting. I would have found Fatal Push too. I made a mistake. I forgot looting was in my graveyard. My apologies. All right, so I want Meltdown, Subtlety, Consign, some number of these. And I think I probably have too many Meltdowns. I should probably be 2 Meltdown, 4 Consign in my board. We'll talk about that when we get to the end of the video, though. Force Negation seems so weak. Shoot the Sheriff's fine. Frog, Oculus. Unearth Looting has a stay. Fatal Push, Shoot the Sheriff stays. Tomio stays. Spell Snare stays. So we can only bring in 4 cards. Meltdown stops a bunch of the artifact junk, but Consign stops like everything. So I think it's just 4 Consign. Maybe the sinks become Meltdowns. 18 lander. All right, we'll keep this hand, and we're gonna turn 1 Faithless Looting. I think maybe Counterspell's bad in this deck, chat. Maybe I should just be Thought Seizing instead. So we need red, blue. That way I can play black, red lands. Did not find a land. Do you think Hollowvine is back? I do not. I do think Hollow One is back, but it's not the Vengevine version. There's a bunch of just Rakdos Delirium decks. Okay. I think I go for Frog. Yeah, what's up, Kevin? Dinosaurs, next time I have a migraine, I'm telling my fiance, babe, I got that ancestral recall headache. Yeah. I like it. Dismember on my Frog. Didn't expect it. Couldn't save it anyway. Saga. Glaring Flesh Raker, okay. We can kill this if we find a fetch land. Let's go for Consider, Looking. Meltdown. Let's hold up Counterspell. I guess we could have just cast Oculus. Did we have the land or did we find the land? Maybe, I think we should just cast Oculus. I was looking for an answer to the Flesh Raker though. Now they can just make tokens and not worry about Counterspell. Meltdown sucks, man. Meltdown sucks. I'm already at 10. Alright, let's just play this. We'll leave like an Oculus and the looting. They have no Dismember, we're cooked. Yeah, in theory you can clear the tokens, but in actuality I'm going to be dead because it's a sorcery. And something like I don't know what would have been better, but something could have been better. Alluding to the grave. Pretty sure I'm going to die this turn. Opponent has 6 cards in hand. With Flesh Raker, they just deal infinite damage if they have the Brood Scale in the combo. But they got Mox Opal. So that means they might not have either piece yet. They find a permanent, so they get Mox Opal or Darksteel Sigil. They've already played a land, so it'll probably be Mox Opal for speed. We'll see. Now, when I untap and I get to go Meltdown plus Counterspell, it'll look pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Especially with this Oculus out. But alright, so they did keep Mox. Even if I Meltdown, though, man, they still have this on the instep. Or float man off of this and then make it. They have Spawn doesn't die, Flesh Raker doesn't die. It literally only kills Mox and Construct, but I can do it for 0, which is good. I need a Pyroclasm, I think, in this deck. Maybe it should be Rough Tumble, so it doesn't hit flyers. Goes like command on the Oculus. Great. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to happen. Alright, they only have 4 cards left in hand, though. Tapped lands. I think I can wait one more turn. Can I? I don't think I can. I changed my mind. So now I have Counterspell, and I have Fatal Push. But I've lost all my threats. Blade O the Blood Chief. 4 mana with Colorless Eldrazi in the tagline. Brood Scale, make a token. Sure. How? Maybe I should counterspell this. So in case I draw a way to deal with the Flesh Raker, I can. They have another Brood Scale, that's fine too. I have the answer for both of them with the Fatal Push, but just like getting my ass kicked by the Flesh Raker. Stirrings. Wish I had done this in reverse, countered this and pushed this, because this can find all sorts of things that generate more card advantage. It can be more problematic than the combo itself. Since I can break up the combo, but it's harder for me to break up like a little guy or whatever. Oh, you're good, Vinny. No worries, bud. Alright, I will block, and then I'll Fatal Push on the instep. Or I'll just die to a bunch of cast things. A lot of graveyard hate running around, and for good reason. If this is another Flesh Raker, I'm gonna be sad. Kozak's command. Okay, so this is gonna turn on Revolt. And they're trying to kill me here. So this makes sense. Alright, we're at 3. Where's the counterspell? Sure. No reason for me to care about my graveyard anymore. We will, I guess, pop the Faithless looting here. Looking for anything. Frog would be ideal, I guess. Maybe Consign. Consign covers everything. Consign, I guess, doesn't stop Blade of the Blood Chief from pumping the Eldrazi spawns. Stirrings doesn't stop Stirrings, but it can stop most of the things they find off Stirrings. Another Brood Scale. It is devoid, so we will be able to counter it. And I'll go. Kicking it doesn't stop Veil Summer. Huh, they didn't even cast it, which to me leads me to assume that they do have Veil. Another Consign. I'm just going to say go. They will likely pop Relic, so maybe I should Faithless, but I'm just like happy with my 2 cards. Because I just have the ability to stop stuff. Yeah, now that we have 2 things for Veil, I'm happier. But Veil's still going to counter 1 and draw a card, which is tough. And we could kick it, but there's no reason. They're mono green. They maybe should have led with Veil Summer. If they lead Veil Summer there, they don't get to draw a card, but Consign doesn't stop Veil. And so once they resolve Veil, then the Brute Scale is uncounterable, and then also unkillable. And so I think they can put I don't know if they have the ability to put infinite counters on Eldrazi spawn. Maybe they do. I'm not 100% on the operations. Alright, I don't think I can win. We're going to keep playing, but I don't think I can win. Wish I had expressive iteration. Couple Springleaf Drums. Rumble. They can get a Flesh Raker, which is probably going to do me. All right, come on, Bobo. Kamio. Yeah, that's the one. Honestly, it might be the one that can get me back in the game. Flesh Raker, without anything else to do, is not as good. It's funny to me that they cast all these Springleaf Drums after holding them for so long. Yeah, can't do anything about the Rumble. So they found Saga, a Brood Scale, and a Blade. They took the Brood Scale. So they can cast Brood Scale and then equip it and go for the kill, but I have the Fatal Push for it. I'll go to 0 from the Flesh Raker, though, so that's a GG. Yeah, can't stop it. Fatal Push doesn't kill the Flesh Raker here, so that's a GG. All right, 3-1. Going to be on the play here for the last match of the league. Opener is a little wonky. I'm going to keep it. Maybe we'll draw Faithless Looting, and we'll be in business. I can use my early fetch lands to find Surveils as well. I think I'll do that over playing to consider on turn 1. See if this is. Maybe it's Tomio. Maybe it's something crazy. Darcy. All right. Let's get Undercity Sewers, Surveil. Do not want the land. All right, let's look for a removal spell. Counterspell, don't want. Looting. I'm going to go ahead and looting, I think. We can always flash it back next turn. My hand is just so full of junk. Next turn we can like push the Darcy maybe, or just flashback looting, looking for Oculus. I do think the card Counterspell is a bit unintuitive with the card Faithless Looting, because it's a sorcery, card disadvantage. But it's just such a powerful card and enables some really sweet stuff. All right, well, we found the Oculus that we can just cast, so let's just cast it, huh? And if they counter it or kill it, we have the ability to bring it back for 1. We don't have any way to defend, so we'll just hope it sticks. They could fetch, cast Unholy Heat, and then maybe get really lucky off the Darcy's. I don't think that'll happen, though. Burning Falls. If they put card into the graveyard. Oculus gets a trigger. Feels good, man. Put an Unearth into the graveyard, so maybe they think I don't have another one. Is that weird? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Skilled at Luck. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Chat, if you're new to the stream, please hit that follow button. We are big into the competitive scene when it comes to Magic. They're targeting the Fatal Push with a Lightning Bolt. Interesting. So I guess that means they have Unholy Heat and they're trying to find Delirium. And if they do, then we get to go next turn Unearth with Force backup. And I think that that'll probably seal it because these will be forced to attack. That's the hope anyway. Tyranny now, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Anyway, I stream mostly the competitive constructed formats, standard, Pioneer, Modern. I haven't streamed Legacy in too long. Still don't have Delirium. I guess the Preordain will give them Delirium. One top, one bottom. So this is probably Unholy Heat. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take 6 down to 10. We're going to shock down to 8, and then we're going to Unearth with Force backup. That'll stop their Force from doing much. We don't have an answer for a Murktide Regent yet. Now we do. Yes, we are RCQ grinders. Well, I guess grinder is not the right word. RCQ followers, enjoyers. Preordain. All right, I'm going to yield to these because I don't care about them. We are gamers. That's true. Gamers unite. Part of me wants to flip this and block both if I am given the opportunity. All right, both attacking, forced. Lightning Bolt probably going to kill one of them, but I doubt I can kill both. And if it's Murktide post-combat, I can double block it. I said, where's the fourth one? And I said, where's the third one? Gonna go volcanic fallout? No! Shooter! Stop putting curses on me. Alright, 2 Oculus active. Basically impossible for them to win at this point, I think. We got Shoot the Sheriff plus Counterspell. We got Removal plus Fawn if we need. Oh, be right back. Be right back, he says. Be right back. Okay. They smiled at me, though. Okay. People always like to take a break when they're getting beat. I'll say that, you know. Yeah, sorry, I had to take a bathroom break. Sorry, buddy. I was in the middle of resolving a lava spike. Yeah, I don't want to lose my sideboarding time, you know. Gotta pee. Yeah, I too have to pee when my opponent is beating me down with Oculus. I gotta pee right now. Not really, but. Yo, Taylor! Thank you so much for the 67 months. Says happiest of holidays to the Tandy fan. I appreciate you, buddy. Also, I saw you join the Patreon again. I hope you are enjoying the content. All right, so we will, I guess, go for now Spellbomb Subtlety. And I like Fatal Push because they'll probably have Rogavan. I like Spellslinger because they probably have Counterspell. Frog's great. Force of Negation is honestly rather weak because it doesn't help me protect my things. It helps me prevent their things from coming down, but I don't think that that's that necessary. This is mostly for like combo matchups. Patreon content, what's that? Yeah, so for those of you who aren't aware, I've been playing Magic a long time. I have a Patreon where I write my thoughts and sideboard guides for various decks. Most recently, I did a guide on Dimir Tempo in Standard. That one came out last week. I will be working on, well, I'll be working on a sideboard guide when I find a deck that I really like in Modern. But I'll probably be writing another guide soon on Golgari Midrange. Specifically, the list that Dykeman played at the NRG, would be my guess. Thought he did a great job metagaming with it. Ross Merrim coming with a big raid. Y'all, it's so great to see Ross streaming again. Please, 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 please go give Ross a follow. Please go give Ross a follow since he's streaming again. I know I have the blue-black already, but this might need to get a surveil land, and I don't have a red card yet, so I want this to be able to go get the surveil land while being able to cast my things. Did I break it yet? No, definitely not. Aggressive iteration. Well, if they're playing this on turn number 2, maybe that means they have like Tormod's Crypt, or they're just very desperate for a removal spell for this. I don't know. Not playing Fair Magic? Yes, I am playing Fair Magic, but sometimes Fair Magic is the best, and when it is, that's usually good news for me. Unholy Heat exiled. Alright, so let's just attack and get a clue and say go. We'll just let up Counterspell. We have the ability to unearth multiple times, and so I think I will probably fetch for red, draw a card on the instep, if they don't want me to counterspell anything. Yeah, again, I don't really care if this dies, so I'm going to attack and see what they do. We can play looting and flip. Fair Magic's always the best. Can be. I just love this game, man. It's just such a great game. I don't want to start the fight with the Faithless looting yet, and I don't have anything to discard to it yet, so I will not cast it yet. Patience with Faithless looting, I think, will be the biggest test. Be the biggest test. Works. Nice. All right. Say go. No reason to pop now Spellbomb yet, but maybe now. Maybe not. And Dillion click. I'm going to counter this. I think I'm going to go ahead and exile Graveyard so they can't Murktide me. I think Murktide is pretty bad for me. At least with this hand. Like, I could maybe bounce it, but maybe they even have, like, Fawn Protect or something. Jordan. And Dylan click, man. I haven't seen that card in so long. One top, one bottom. I guess, is Vendilion Click a wizard? Yeah. I guess maybe it's pretty good with Flame of Venor, huh? I didn't even think about that. Froggy. Alright, let's attack. Bolt. Sure. Alright, so let's go reanimate Tamiya. Hopefully they counterspell it, and then I'll do it again and then flip. Although maybe I'll just play Frog if they do that. But I think flipping Tamio is like really hard for them to beat in general. They could have a Fawn. I think I'm fine with that. Discard maybe land consider. Maybe Fatal Push. Maybe Fatal Push is unnecessary because I have Frog. Huh. I do want to play the land now. So maybe I keep Stupor Frog. Pitch these two. Because we'll have the ability to Tamiya minus next turn. Put a Tamiya into the grave. Alright, they can Unholy Heat this, I guess. That was something I didn't consider. If they go Murktide, it'll be pretty big. I can, if I draw a land, I can go get back Counterspell and then sink into Super Bounce it with Counterspell backup. 5 in the graveyard now. 5 mana. 2 cards in hand. Now, nice. Nice. Shoot the Sheriff. Cool. Because they have Unholy Heats in their deck, I'm going to minus and get back Counterspell right now. Alright, and now I'm going to play this as a tap thing. I'm going to play Frog. And now with Counterspell, shoot the Sheriff back up. Blue token, Tamio going. I think it'll be pretty tough for my opponent to punch through. But never say never. I will go start off with like Counterspell on the Murktide. I will not fight over the Frog dying. Yeah, heat on the Tamio. So they expected me to tick up, and I played around it, so they definitely should just main phase kill it. That was a mistake on their end. And they may have drawn it off of the bobble, but not had a stop on my upkeep. And that could also have just been a mistake on their part, you know. Alright, we'll draw a card with Clue. And now I think Frog's just going to go uncontested, and then we should just win easily. I will go ahead and reanimate Tamio, unless I draw Oculus here. Then I'll just play Oculus and hold up. We could looting. Now they have this unearth. I don't even think this is that good. I think I'm just going to say go. I think I'm just going to hold up Counterspell, removal, wait on them to do anything. Keep as many cards in my hand as I can to protect Frog from burn. I think now I'll use Counterspell to stop Unholy Heat on Frog. We have Unearth for it though, so it's not even that bad. Good chance I discard 2 Fatal Pushes here. Just like not afraid of Darcy or Ragavan anymore. Just need to close the game. I will play Frog. And I don't think that they can punch through this wall with what they have. The Frogs are extremely scary as well. They're out of fetch. I mean, they drew a bunch of lands for sure, so. Preordain, fine. That means I have at least 1 Steam Vents in hand, and if they're only playing 1, or if they're only playing 2. I doubt they're only playing 2. Yeah. 2 cards in hand. No one ever beats a Frog that connects if the game continues for like multiple turns after. Frog is so strong. Alright, no reason to do anything other than Frog and attack. Deceiver Exarch. Ah! Everything makes way more sense. Everything makes way more sense now. Last card is almost definitely Splinter Twin. I'm going to, I guess, shock. Just so I can hold up Counterspell plus shoot the Sheriff. And the next turn we just discard 3 cards to win. Darcy, that's fine. With the Counterspell in hand, this should be fine. So I, in a turn, shoot the Sheriff that. Counterspell backup. Discard 3 cards, hold up Counterspell. We can get beat up a little bit by Otawara. Alright, after no blocks. Gonna hold up 2 Counterspells and not really worry about it too much. Even if they have Otawara, we still get to draw a card and we still have double Counterspell backup. GG. Okay, so 4-1 with this build of Oculus. The addition of Faithless Looting looked quite good. And I think that overall, this deck is just extremely strong. The kind of like mid-range control vibes you get from playing the Frog interaction is similar to how it feels playing like Legacy, right? Where you disrupt a little bit you know, then you play Frog and it can be a focal point. But you also have this kind of like combo-y style nut draw that involves an earlier born Oculus, sometimes even with counterspell backup with Force of Negation. And so it becomes almost like an unbeatable combo Reanimator deck in some spots, while still giving you the ability to use Unearth in really fun, interesting ways. Unearth on Tamio into Faithless Looting allows you to transform. Being able to bring back Frog after it gets countered or killed is quite nice. And then, of course, we have the Aborn Oculus if we're able to put it into the graveyard via Surveil Land, discard from Frog, or Faithless Looting. All very strong ways to do that. From this build, the only thing I would really consider changing in the main deck is the mana base a little bit, but I don't even really know how I'd want to do that. I feel like maybe the second Stevens is unnecessary, but I would want to replace it with a land that I can fetch for. But I don't really want it to be a black-red land. It needs to tap for blue. So maybe it's Xander's Lounge. That might sound kind of weird, but it's a tri-land that I can fetch for on turn 1 when I don't need another card. But I don't think that that's really necessary, so I would recommend against that. Sink into Stupor was quite medium, but it's there because it's a blue card that can pitch, not because it's a spell you can cast. I didn't love it. I would probably go down to 1 and then add another regular land. I had a lot of one-landers that worked out, and I had a couple one-landers that didn't work out. Or at least they I don't know. It didn't seem like they worked that well, but they ultimately, Faithless Looting, consider these are ways to kind of hit your land drops and catch back up. A bunch of people have suggested Deep Analysis. I think Deep Analysis is quite weak. Some people have suggested Expressive Iteration. I think when you play a bunch of counter spells, Force of Negation, Oculus, it's much weaker than it seems. Scooter says Lauren revealed over Sync. Lauren revealed over Sync actually sounds kind of lit, and I am very into it. I will consider it. Good suggestion, Scooter. Sideboard, I think Meltdown is probably not good enough. I think maybe 1 or 2 is fine, but I think 4 and I think Consign of Memory is great. And I think Meltdown is much worse. But Consign also lost a lot of its luster when the One Ring got banned. And so there's a good chance that Consign is just like no longer viable. And Grixis is the color combination that has the most trouble with artifacts and enchantments. Things like Urza Saga can be quite problematic. And so we probably want something like Ratchet Bomb or Engineer Explosives that can come down and protect us. Since we're playing Force Negation and Subtlety out of the sideboard, I personally like Ratchet Bomb, or I guess there's like the Filigree Silex, or one of the Silexes does something, or Karn Silex, or Urza Silex, one of those. Does the same thing as Ratchet Bomb, but it has like extra text on it. And so if you want to split them into 1/1, that's fine. I don't love Engineered Explosives because I think that it costs too much upfront mana to use. And I like the idea of using Ratchet Bomb early with all my mana on turn 2, and then being able to use free spells for that turn, and then after that just having my mana unlocked for the rest of it seems great. Yeah, so sideboard definitely up in the air. These are just 15 random cards. I like the 2 Subtlety, but there's a chance they should be in the main deck. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today. Make sure to check out the sponsors for today's stream. Apex Gaming is a game store out of Caldwell, Ohio. They run the Apex Invitational Series that will be starting back in 2025 in the springtime. I'm also sponsored by Moxfield.com, a site where you can build and share decks with your friends. And if you want to see any of the decks that I play on stream or on YouTube, make sure to hit ! deck or deck list in chat. You can find it there, or you can check the link in the video description. Lastly, we're sponsored by Paradise Games and Gifts. They're a game store out of Fairfax, Virginia. They specialize in all manner of trading card games. You can check out their website at gcpairodice.com, formerly Games and Comics Paradise, now Paradise Games and Gifts. They run a lot of really sweet events, and they have great deals on their website. It's going to do it for me today. I'm Tandy. I write articles for my Patreon that are strategy-based, from sideboard guides to spotlights on new cards, new decks, unbanned cards, things like that, community issues. You can check them out at patreon.com/Tandy, and throw me a couple bucks if you want to keep me making Magic content for a living. I got to keep Jaeger fed and wet food. Right now, he's just all over my desk, knocking everything over. So I'm just going to call it for stream today. Thank you so much for everyone for hanging, and we'll see you next time. Let's find somebody to raid, yeah?